Hey all, so how is your preparation going on? Well, I would like to share my books during the preparation, and these books you are seeing right now are not of different subjects, but it's just one subject, that is economy. So let's go for the subject. Let me show you how many books are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and of course, at again there are some other rough books also. But yes, you might be wondering, but true, these are all economy books itself. I mean, the random stuff I have written, not like a random stuff, but the useful content which I have learned over a period of time, because UPSC is not just like a single subject or some different standard books that you just finish off, but finding the correct book is also quite important. So just hold a minute. So this is like 3 years of my learning experience and the mistakes what I did, and those are the mistakes to be avoided by any beginners. So I just separated. These are the NCERT textbooks which are quite recommended by everyone to go through them, and these are the notes I made out of NCERTs, and of course from the coaching or some other institute or random YouTube videos, or to understand the stuff. But I can confidently say that I am not yet prepared in economy, and this might be quite bad. I mean, I feel very awkward to just declare such statement, but yes, it's true. Despite having written these many books, the bulk of 400 pages, of course, I finished the book completely, entirely. So this goes around 800 pages altogether, and this is the Murunal content, which is very well hyped always to follow for economy. And yet again, some other notes which I made, self-made notes by watching YouTube videos. And yes, then I realized that the notes should be quite legible. So I kept this white notebook with superb binding, but yet I say I'm not confident at all, and I say this very confidently that I am lagging in economy. So yes, let me share you what the mistakes I did. For suppose that goes around like 5 to 6 written notes altogether, and of course 3 to 4 NCERT books, but I didn't buy the well noted standard books like something like Ramesh Singh and all, Nitin Singhania or Dattan Shyam Sundaram. Such sort of books are there, but I haven't yet gone through them. So yes, it happens. You see, I'm something like a self-learner, so I just gone through this all stuff all by myself, and outers may just put me the tag as a failure, but I literally toiled very hard. I literally just gone through each and every term, but the direction is quite wrong. The guidance is what I missed, and let me show you the blunder mistakes I did. For suppose if you go through this textbook called NCERT, this is the basic standard textbook which starts with class 9th. The story goes like the story of village Palampur, okay? Yes, so there are these contents. So what we usually do, we just go through this book. So don't do like any random novel kind of reading, which I did, and this is quite bad, okay? So not that I already had good content or good command over this. I'm not from CBSE background, it's a state background for me, but this is 9th textbook, but I'm a BTech graduate, so I felt okay, so let me just delve into the book, what all are written. I just interestingly opened the book. So I just gone through the pictures, not like pictures, but yes, you can see now I have made a good highlighting, or I just underlined the things which I felt quite important, and I finished this book. Now, of course, I finished all NCERTs, but I'm just going through this first chapter in this book so that you can understand what mistakes are to be avoided. Like every general random student, he or she just quite enough. It's quite enough. They think they just go through all the content. Wow, it's quite interesting. They just read it along, and they feel that okay, I finished the book. And you can see I literally did maths also here. So I'm trying to understand it, but UPSC doesn't require you to just go through the book, okay? It is something called analysis. Analyzing is quite different from understanding the content or memorizing. So I mean, what we are quite habituated from the schooling onwards is we just go through the content, we try to understand different contexts behind it, and we just make notes out of it, then we memorize it, and we will just go into the exam hall and write the concepts and all, but that's not the way it is to be dealt. You see here, I even made a note of what exactly meant by 1 hectare, 1 yard. So I'm just out of curiosity, I'm just going deep into the content also, but yet I say that this is wrong strategy. I mean, 90% students just go through the content, they just say I finished the book, but I'm somewhat better in that aspect, not to highlight, but I'm just saying it frankly because I never just ended up reading the book like a novel, but I literally read it wholeheartedly and I made notes out of it. You see, you can understand the work I have put in here, what is meant by a hectare, acres, and of course, different questions also I just solved, and the figure also. Literally, no one does it. You see, usually in 9th class standard book for a BTech graduate, it's like a cakewalk. I think so, but I have just gone through it. For suppose you just may randomly read it like electric run tube wells. Okay, fine. We just go through it as fine, what is there in it, something like a kind of irrigation system, but I dwelled it deeply and I understood that it is something like it begins with different equipment like motor, channels, pump set, then large tanks, then channelizing it into the fields, so on. So I just structured what exactly is meant by electric tube wells and how it works. Okay, so electricity is involved here and well is constructed, so I just channeled the whole process. I just didn't let it go that okay I know it. So I was not like proud, or I was not like I'm a graduate, so why should I look into these all deeply, but yet I can say that I don't know anything of this stuff. Okay, so here it comes. This is what I read quite recently, I mean 2 years back, but well, in my college days itself, it goes like around 2017. You might be laughing, but yes, as a child, then I just wrote what I have learnt over this notes. Okay, I made notes out of this textbook. The notes goes like this: the story of village Palampur. So what are the content he has given? Literally the same content, but in shortest form I made the notes. But this is quite bad idea. Okay, I wrote the notes and even the agriculture models also I did. So okay, I felt very good because I felt quite satisfied because I read the notes. I mean, I have gone through the textbook, I made the notes out of it, I even solved the question answers. So I thought I got whole content that is given in this, but yet this is not quite good preparation. You can see the 5-man technique I wanted to follow, but I do follow it, but yet we say, okay, I can easily say that this is wrong method. Simply this is wrong method. Okay, and again another people as resource I have. It's not like that I focused on good handwriting or highlighting with different colors of pens, but this is true. I wanted every point of it to be understood, and these are quotes. Okay, quotes are generally not given in NCRTs, and these are quite some newspaper content and all, or some other random books I have gathered. So everything like linked, I linked the content and I wrote the notes, I read it, I revised it, but this is not going to help you in any way. Rather, it is a hectic process. This is the schooling method and this is to be avoided at any cost. Okay, this is to be avoided. So this sort of note making is quite dangerous. It kills your time, it kills your energy, you are left with nothing in the end. I wrote what is buffer stock, minimum support price, PDS and all. No, this is not going to help you. This is the fact I'm telling, I'm repeatedly saying, making such a beautiful, wonderful notes. And this comes class 10th. Okay, understanding economic development. So this is the class 11th. Okay, fine. Class 10th, the notes is also there. You see, this is the NCRT textbook for class 10. I read it just as I said. So these are the quotes which I have gathered on some random book, but yes, I have gone through the textbook also. Okay, yeah, as you can see, this is the testimony I can give you and also the great evidence not to do as such. Okay, I literally, like a self-learner, I kept my whole heart and soul into the preparation, but out of curiosity also I just delved much more deeper into all these things which you can understand from the groundwork I did, but yet I can say I am not quite confident enough in answering this stuff. Okay, I even made answers for this all, but I can proudly, not proudly but confidently say that this is not enough. Okay, so class 10th I have completed this book also. I just gone through all the contents, I made notes. Okay, everything I read. So for me the sense of completion is done. I have done these two textbooks, I made notes out of it, so I got everything under economy. Okay, so yes, again I made notes, beautiful notes. Then comes second chapter, it's also going. Okay, fine. So you feel very quite good enough that you are in the right way, but this is quite wrong. And yes, class 11, again class 11. So if I go, this is unending process for every subject. Literally I used to do as such. Then again, of course, I took coaching from so-called a very good marketing resource. Then also I made notes, literally what they said. Okay, even without thinking what they are saying, I mean I just followed. This is quite clumsy because in order to save some money I made notes in some rough papers because it is quite bulky also. So I felt better I have a good large book. Otherwise I have to keep different books. Okay, so to keep it in one single book, I made such notes. from the starting, whatever they told, everything, I literally wrote everything. I literally tried to memorize. So you can see the highlights also, highlighted content, so the symbols and all. Okay, so very interestingly I did the coins and all. So I made the notes very interestingly. I wanted to learn the stuff quite good, but this is all not going to help at all. This is quite clumsy, but that's how it is. So what is poverty? Whatever they told, I just wrote it. I made maps. So coaching is also a type of quicksand, to be frank. It just eats away your time, money, energy, and it gives you a false sense of completion, but it's not actually true. So this is over. You see, this is a man riding a vehicle. Okay, something like the sort, because that shows the interest every child carries, but the system, our education system is such that it just kills us. We are left as if a failed candidate. Okay, so this is like a biomagnification, I think, this process and all. So different colors and all. And this is not something like a 10th class child doing all this stuff, but a BTech graduate who completed her studies and who left many jobs to just achieve a great thing ahead in the life, but she succumbed to failure, to be frank. As you can see over here, I did groundwork, I did hard work, I toiled a lot, I wrote the notes, I followed the coaching, I learned myself, but experience is the greatest teacher of all. Either it might be the guidance or it might be your experience. Either of it must be helpful for you to achieve your target. Okay, and of course this is also a random quote I read from some books. So it again, of course this is not the ending. Okay, the coaching mafia, they told further more notes, so I just made the notes. It goes on like this, so it's quite unending, and these are the notes I made. So I don't know anything of this stuff. These are all visible just with the ink and the paper as I have written, but this is quite bad idea. So this must be avoided at any cost. And of course this is again another notes, binding one, as I have said earlier, complete binding one. Okay, and again there is also some other notes. You see this one, the down. This is the latest notes I did. Okay, because I am unable to comprehend that complex technical jargon that is mentioned in the Analysing textbook, standard textbook. So I followed Mrunal, I followed random YouTube videos, Unacademy content, and what all not. Everything I followed and made notes. And I tried to memorize. This is also a paper cutting. So this quite appears that I am quite overwhelmed with the knowledge, because the written part shows you or gives you the testimony that I acquired quite good knowledge in economy or having good command over economy, and I am well prepared for the exam and I have completed 100% of the syllabus for economy, but this is not quite true. So whatever you are seeing, the written notes and all, or the information I gathered from the newspaper, everything, it all boils down to zero. On one fine day, it all boils down to zero, and your experience comes back to you to start afresh again, everything. Okay, so what are the mistakes I did? So that's how the preparation went on for me. But you see, first of all, you should go through previous year questions. Even I have gone through the previous year questions. This is the syllabus of economy. You can see quite over here. Okay, syllabus of economy. So the toppers told their strategy. As per their strategy, they wanted every child who are into the preparation to go through the economy or whatever the questions, go through the previous year questions. So I have gone through them. I just I gone through them. I didn't get many of the answers. Despite reading these many books or despite going through a lot of lectures, I had many doubts. So I just referred the questions back. Okay, this is the famous Disha publications, quite famous for UPSC previous year questions. Okay, so I just gone through each and every question. I have got many doubts, so I cleared myself all. So some are in doubt, but I have written them just quite adjacent to it. So yes, I have gone through the previous year questions. Even this one is also done. So what am I missing? Syllabus I have gone through, previous year questions I have gone through them, notes I have made, lectures I have followed, standard books I have read, NCRTs I completed, but yet I am not at all confident. So what am I missing? I am just left out completely. And of course I will show you, there will be some other technique also. You just need to memorize the syllabus. People say that. So let me tell you about this. Yes, toppers usually say to memorize the syllabus. We have to make some rote learning as such. So what they usually suggest is you just stick the syllabus paper in front of the table so that you can just revise it, or whenever you go or just look at it, whenever you feel bored, then some words may go into your mind, something else, that sort of stuff. Anyhow, even I followed the same. You see, this is GS1. This is GS2 paper and the GS3 is on other side. Okay, so I differentiated the paper, the whole syllabus, and I detailed the syllabus also. So I just didn't leave it aside pasting, but I did write what it all comes under. So that means like I just detailed the syllabus furthermore, and I pasted it on my Almara. So but this is not quite good, but I can say this technique didn't work at all. So here is also the syllabus, the economy syllabus. Okay, so I detailed the syllabus and I just pasted it on the wall, but no use at all. Okay, I pasted it never to be seen again. Okay, so it just is on the wall, but no use. It's all futile. It's just a trivial matter, but they just say you randomly to memorize every part of the syllabus, but that doesn't actually mean in that sense. Okay, please try to understand what I am saying right here, because usually we hear, if you look at the topper strategies or the videos, everyone has their unique strategy, but all commonly suggest to go through the previous year questions and memorize the syllabus. Okay, so even I did, but I want you to get in more detail about what exactly they meant by go through previous year questions. Okay, so let me also go through the previous year questions, what usually everyone does. So simply, of course, this is something like first part, as he has mentioned in this book over here. Okay, so I will just go through the first question. For suppose this one, the Narsimhan Committee financial sector reforms has suggested reduction in what? Okay, fine. Option, I don't know the option, so let me check out the answer. Maybe B, I think. And yes, then I wrote that this is fact based question. Okay, because there is nothing like concept involved over here. And you see this one, in the second question, which of the following pairs are correctly matched? So here the answer is 1, 2 and 4. As you go through the options, you will understand that this requires some conceptual knowledge. So I wrote it as concept. I wrote this as scheme based question. I wrote this as fact based question, and again concept based question. So I did, but this is not worth at all. Okay, so mere going through the questions or by hearting the previous year questions is not the requirement to get into that job. Okay, so please stop that nonsense. This is not the right strategy as said by toppers. Rather, you have to analyze the previous year questions, and of course, just as I told you to stick the syllabus paper in front of the table, have a look at it, just have glance over it, glimpse over it, swim over it, you just view over it. No, that doesn't work at all. That's completely wrong strategy, to be frank. Okay, and even go to the previous year questions, you read, reread, revise, reread. No, read it, revise it. No, that's not exactly what it is meant by. That is completely wrong. So of course, you just go through this also. I have already gone through all this stuff, but this didn't work for me at all. So let's check over this question. Which of the following is not included in the assets of a commercial bank in India? So I tried to understand the concept by looking at the options, and I tried that the answer is so and so deposits. Okay, so that's the answer. So again, when I take out the book for the next time, again I go through the same question, then I try to recall the options. So what is the use of previous year questions? Previous year questions are very important in two aspects. It's not just going through the questions and memorizing the answers and trying to recall. It's completely wrong. Previous year questions have two uses. First one is to pick out the keywords from the questions that are given in the previous years of UPSC. Okay, so for suppose you just go through any random question, you just go through it. You see this question: despite being a high saving economy, capital formation may not result in significant increase in output. This question is about capital formation, and this is the keyword over here. Answer is not important for us. The content or the context of questioning is quite important, and that is what we need to focus upon. So capital formation is the keyword over here, and you need to identify to which part of the syllabus it falls under. For suppose, you see this is the syllabus, as we have seen over here: Indian economy, planning, mobilization of resources, growth, development, employment. Okay, so within this economic growth, that is the part of the syllabus wherein this word, this keyword capital formation falls into. Okay, so how will you get to know about this? For that, you just need to go through the contents of economy, like the basic books and the reference material and some YouTube videos. Only then you can match the keywords of previous year questions with the syllabus words given by the UPSC, and that is the most required thing to be done. Okay, and go through some other question. Okay, what is the importance of the term interest coverage ratio of your firm in India? Interest coverage ratio means it comes under money and banking. Money and banking, but you won't find such word called money and banking anywhere in the UPSC syllabus. But where it falls under? It falls under economic growth, economic development, and of course fiscal policy, something like public finance. Okay, over here you just need to go through every minute part of the syllabus. Okay, for each word, something like planning, you need to have at least 20 keywords, associated words with respect to this part of the syllabus. Mobilization of resources, this is a part of the syllabus, but under this there must be 20 keywords or 20 to 100 keywords, okay, that fall under this part of the syllabus. You can understand over here the rough notes I made. So mobilization of resources, it is the syllabus word given, but what it exactly meant by financial resources for public and private sector, budgetary resources, role of public debt, external debt, FDI, FII. So all these concepts fall under this part of the syllabus called mobilization of resources. So you don't just go randomly like FDI, FII, I completed the part, that concept. No, you need to identify under which part of the syllabus it falls under. Otherwise the statement like UPSC, everything under the sun comes into the UPSC exam. So that's wrong. Okay, you just need to focus on the keywords, and previous year questions are a good resource to identify such keywords and then map them with the syllabus words. Only then you can understand that you are going in the right direction. Else it's all futile, just as I have shown you previously. Mere reading the stuff and making notes out of it, then memorizing it again and giving lot of exams, that doesn't make sense at all. So first go through the previous year questions, find out the keywords, map them with the syllabus. You write a list of all the keywords that fall under specific part of the syllabus. Okay, for suppose you see growth and development, this is a part of the syllabus word, but under this there are lot of keywords involved. I gathered these keywords from the previous year questions. Going through the previous year questions, you have to understand that inflation is a concept that falls under growth part of the syllabus. Only this one is given, growth and economic development. You see here, growth, development, only this is given. Nowhere it is mentioned to read about inflation. Okay, but here inflation comes under this part of the syllabus. And inflation, I found it from the previous year questions keywords. Phillips curve, Laffer curve, indicators of economic growth, jobless growth, GDP, GNH, HDI, these fall under economic growth, and this falls under economic development. So everything you can understand only if you have basic knowledge about the different concepts. Else it's quite difficult for you to segregate or map the previous year question keywords with the syllabus. And of course this is about employment. So again here it is given inclusive growth and issues therein. You just can't ignore this part. Okay, you have to identify which keywords fall under this part of the syllabus, inclusive growth. As I have mentioned, using the previous year questions as great resource, you can segregate the list of topics that fall under this part of the syllabus, inclusive growth. Something like trickle down approach, okay, and poverty estimation. Poverty, obviously poverty, employment, health, these all aspects come under inclusive growth concept. Good governance, financial inclusion, universal basic income, minimum wages, financial inclusion, JAM Trinity. So that is the way you need to map. And then government budgeting, you need to identify which keywords fall under this government budgeting, structure of government budget and its components. So process about the bills, how budget is introduced, and then you need to understand about types of budget, its classification, highlights of current year's budget, FRBM 2003 fiscal policy, deficit and debt, monetization of deficit, fiscal council, everything falls under this, and this is fiscal policy. It's a subset of the government budget topic. Okay, that sort of identification is quite required, and nowhere you hear the term about direct government schemes and all, but it falls under governance topic. Okay, so somewhat related to the economic aspects of governing. Okay, so such sort of segregation is quite important. And major cropping patterns, so what are the keywords that fall under it? The agriculture seasons, agriculture income tax. Okay, sugarcane, especially sugarcane is a quite separate topic and it must be dealt separately. apart from cotton and other MSP crops, 25 types of crops, okay, and zero budget natural farming, sustainable agriculture, integrated farming technique, and statutory minimum price of sugarcane, as I have said, and annual production quantity of important crops, egg mark. So these all are like minute topics, but you have to just be like a spider and web all the words and then map them to the syllabus. Only then you can understand where to focus much. After this exercise, now you again go to the previous year questions and make a list of the frequency of the keywords used. Okay, this is all the keywords that are included in the part of the syllabus, but now you understand the frequency of the keywords, like how many times it got repeated, so that you can understand the weightage and the important content. Of course, in PSC there is nothing like important any time. PSC surprises you every year, but yet you can understand the major things to be focused upon immediately. Okay, so again, agriculture marketing, even under this, the different keywords that fall under this part of the syllabus. E-technology in the aid of farmers. You see here, this is the part of the syllabus, e-technology in the aid of farmers, and I wrote the keywords that fall under this. Okay, so in that way you need to map the syllabus. So the usual statement by toppers, go to the previous year questions, does actually meant by this exercise. Okay, and I told you the first basic necessity of previous year questions, the first requirement, the first outcome you can get out of previous year questions, and the second requirement or the second usage or the return on investment when you go through the previous year questions is that you will be able to understand how far you fared well in your preparation. Okay, so this is the exercise to be done in the beginning. Obviously, after just going through the random topics or basic idea of what economy is all about, you can just do this exercise of mapping previous year question keywords with the syllabus words, and then you now focus and dig deeply into the interior concepts, those all in something like very intricate, complex parts, technical jargon of the economy. Once it is done, now you again go to the previous year questions. This time you attempt it like a mock, so you can understand where you are doing wrong, whether it's your intuition based answer or wild guess based answer or out of concept answer or anything further direction. Okay, you will get to know the direction of your preparation. Anything further is required so as to add to it. Okay, I mean, if you have left out any other concepts, not just the actual option of the answer, but all other options given in the question, so this enhances or this just gives a holistic approach of preparation. Okay, so then the statement go through your previous year questions is done completely correct way. So PDS, this is the syllabus word and the different keywords that fall under PDS. Buffer stock, food security, and the different keywords that fall under food security. Better you go through the mains questions also, because mains is obviously the ultimate thing which counts for the selection. So you approach both with the previous year questions of prelims and also mains. So now you are ready to memorize the syllabus also, because everything is right under your eyes or just on your fingertips. So now you will be quite familiar with all the content, and this is going to really give you a big bang in your preparation, which I completely missed for the past 2 years and lately realized. So mapping syllabus with the keywords is quite ultimate requirement. Only then you can memorize the syllabus, not just by pasting it on the wall, but only after mapping keywords with the syllabus words you can memorize the syllabus completely, and that's the first step to be done to begin your preparation. And that's the halfway. Good beginning is already half win, as it is told in a famous proverb. So this is the first beginning step to be done correctly. Okay.